All right, liquidity. There was the Bundy Ranch and the Oregon Bird Sanctuary standoff. I just want to put this up and show to everyone that talk about the Bundys, about some sort of a family, whatever. Can you imagine yourself that you own a ranch and that you selling things and that you care about what you do, about what you sell, and you have pride in yourself. Now take a look at this sign here. Is that a sign that you will put out there years after years, selling Bundy melons and other ones are selling Bundy steaks and stuff like that? What does that show? You know, that show to me like white trash. You know, people don't give a shit about their life. Anyway, that's how I'm going to start to tell you how, you know, to me the Bundys are just white trash, Mormon trash, and patriot trash, and militia trash, because they're none of those. Okay? They don't really are not patriot and they're not militia, they're just in there for themselves. And all of you that follow these people are being hoodwinked into believing that they are something else. They're not. They're all on for themselves. And now some of you are in jail for the stupidity of following them. All right, you fools. Here's your hero, Clive Bundy. But this is what he believes, okay? This is what he believes. He said to you guys, my name is Clive Bundy. I'm refusing to pay taxes. I'm expecting every other ranch owner who does pay to foot the bill for me. I want the government to let me graze my cattle for free. But because I'm rich, I'm not a taker. I'm no butcher. In fact, I'm a hero of liberty. That's what you guys have made this guy. You have made him some sort of a hero, okay, for refusing to pay to graze his cattle in our land. Not the government land, remember, it's our land. That with those fees, the land get fixed because you get trampled all the time by the cattle, okay? And that those fees from grazing also go into the Forest Service, they go into the national parks. All our things belong to all of us, not just to this fool here and to this asshole, okay? And if you follow this guy, you're an asshole too. You don't like it? Leave a comment below. But you see, instead of being a hero, like I show you in the other picture and the one before this one, this guy is a liar. He keeps saying, my forefathers had been up and down the Virgin Valley here ever since 1877. That's what Clive Bundy said. But court records show that the Bundy family cattle didn't start grazing on that land until 1954. Okay? Who is the liar here? The government, which is us representing us and being the steward of the land that belongs to us, or this jackass? Now you tell me. Now you believe the jackass. Again, I tell you, you are a jackass yourself. So we're going to continue the video. I'm going to divide it into two places. Place number one is going to be about the Bundy Ranch. And then place number two, which is going to be the next segment, but all together, is going to be about the Oregon standoff. Starting with the Bundy Ranch, people keep saying about there was a peaceful protest or anything like that. Well, let's talk about this. Let's look at this picture here. Does that guy look peaceful to you? Now, people, have some common sense. Okay, don't say that Second Amendment give you a right to carry a gun. Of course it does. But your attitude, the way you present yourself, okay, the way you act with intimidation toward others makes a big difference whether you are exercising your Second Amendment or you are committing a crime. Now, here you got this man here on a public road. Public means it belongs to all of us, but he is there with the gun, loaded. Look at the magazine, gun loaded here on his leg, at the ready, checking out people going back and forth. Could have been you or me, right? All the civilians. That is intimidation. That is not exercising your Second Amendment right. That is committing a crime. I'm going to continue to show you how at the Bundy Ranch, what they did there was nothing to do with freedom, but intimidation, and why the government decided not to continue to prevent a chaotic situation to turning worse and to have people kill. People kill. That was what no one wanted. But you guys, by presenting yourself like this, with all these ammo pouches, he didn't bring those ammo pouches there to exercise his Second Amendment right. And don't be such a fool to believe that. Even if you talk about that, you're lying to yourself. So I don't care what kind of a commentary you make, but don't lie. Use facts like I do. Now this picture here is of the so-called Sheriff Mack. He considers himself to be an oath keeper and constitutional sheriff bullshit. You know, to me, they might as well be communists. But this asshole here, and yes, Mac, you're an asshole. You don't like it, leave a comment. I live in Arizona too. I'm willing to meet you anywhere and we'll discuss whether or not you're an asshole. Okay? Anyway, this guy was at the Bundy Ranch, and he said that they were going to put women and children first, that when the feds start shooting, the press thing are going to be able to show all the women and children dying. Well, Sheriff, I don't think you were ever a soldier, because we don't do that. We don't put women and children in the front. We protect them. I guess that's what you patriots do, isn't it? Shameful, you. Shameful. You should be embarrassing yourself. You should not be showing up your ugly face as much as you do anywhere. Same thing as the Oath Keeper. You know, what do they stand for? Not a goddamn thing, do you? So there you go, Sheriff Mack. You're an asshole. And I'll tell you to your face. Anytime, leave a comment below, and I'll send you my number. So here I am, I'm showing you another picture of another so-called militia on a public road where we pay taxes to be on, to be built, to be taken care of, to be maintained, to be maintained. And here he is, with his gun at the ready, finger almost at the trigger, okay? If you look at it, almost at the trigger, loaded with magazines and everything. Pointing it down, which is a soldier way to maintain his gun at the ready, okay? He's not carrying it on his back, pointing down, okay? So he is threatening people that drive if he decides whether he likes it or not to let them through. See? This is not a peaceful protest. Don't be such a silly asshole and say that this is a peaceful protest. It wasn't. It was an intimidating protest. And whatever they're getting today, the 5th of May, okay, Cinco de Mayo, whatever they're getting today in jail, they deserve, okay? So I'm showing you little by little acts that occurred during the Bundy Ranch standoff that were acts of intimidation by the militias. Intimidation not toward just the feds, but toward the public in general. Because anytime that you are on a public road, armed like this, checking every car that go by, okay, that's intimidation. Here's another picture. There she is, armed to the teeth, stopping people, asking them questions like, what are you doing here? It's a public road. She has no right, none of these people, none of this militia that were supposedly defending Bundy had any right to ask anyone what they were doing there. They're not law enforcement. They have no vested interest or no vested law that allows them. Any of those people in that car could have taken him out of there, put a gun to her head and disarm her, and that would have been legal because she was intimidating them. You see, I'm showing you little by little how this was act of intimidation that they used. And the Fed decided to stand down because they didn't want to create a bloodbath, okay? Because all these stupid people. But don't come and say that this was done peacefully, okay? There you go again, more militias. intimidating people on public roads. I hope that all these people that I've been presenting in these pictures here have been rounded up. All of them. I hope they all be in jail, and I hope they all get found guilty of many, many years. If they do found guilty, I will send in some soap. That's for sure. But all of these people that commit a crime by intimidating civilians on public roads and public property, they should all be in jail. So let's try to get them all accounted for. And this one here, this is a doozy. This is a beauty, because this guy here, I think his last name is Parker. He thought he was scot-free. He was back in Idaho telling his story like some sort of a hero. But he should have known, you're not a hero. You are a wannabe. You know, you are a criminal. This guy here is no different to me than the people in Ferguson and Baltimore. Criminal, thugs, same thing. The only difference is that this guy is white and has an AR, and the guys in Ferguson and Baltimore had rocks and maybe some Molotov cocktail. That's the difference, and they were blacks. You know, but not saying shit to me. You know, so you all assholes, and because you tend to be the different color, you know, I don't care. I always told my soldiers, okay, the assholes come in all different colors, because sometimes I got some a little bit of feedback from some of the black and Hispanic soldiers, you know, and I'm being Hispanic, you know, about that I was too tough on them, that I was a racist or something like that. And I said, no, you're just a fucking lazy fuck, okay? And lazy fuck come in different colors, just like assholes come in different colors, okay? So don't give me no shit like that. Never went farther than that, but it's the same thing with these people here. He is an asshole that is white, and the assholes in Baltimore and Ferguson were black. Same shit to me, all criminals. So this little pussy here, thought he was scot-free because he thought he was playing a part. He thought there was going to be no accountability, and it got to be accountability, okay? So he acted up like nothing happened. So the asshole from the previous picture turned into the same asshole right here, and now he became a sniper. And becoming a sniper is a crime. When you point your weapon to federal law enforcement doing their job, you become a criminal. So some of you tend to be silly and ignorant of laws, because the problem with the people in the militia and the patriot movement is that you don't know the laws. You interpret the law that you think that you understand, but you don't. And what happens is that you don't understand the law. And then what you do is that you say that the law is unconstitutional because you don't understand it. Or if the law, you say the law is unconstitutional because it doesn't go with the way you're thinking. That's wrong, because then you can never have any law, because I don't disagree with the law. So nobody is anarchy. You understand, people? So anyway, this fool here, I hope that wasn't his wife there. This fool here got picked up in Idaho a month ago, last name Parker, and some people now call him a political prisoner. Well, he was not a political prisoner. He's a common criminal. Common asshole criminal. Common jackass criminal. Common jackass militia. That's what he is. Okay? You go do this, you play this game, and you say that if they wouldn't shot, I would have shot him from here, that deserve a response. And when you say those things, you got to be man enough to expect accountability. And when accountability come and get you, okay, man up. Man up, militia. Be men, not children. And stand for what you believe. You believe in doing that was the right thing, fine by me. Don't bitch like a girl when they come and get you, okay? Because you point a gun at me, you're gonna react to a response from me. Same thing that you reacted to a response from the Fed. Now that's when you're in jail. So you understand, boys, that every action deserves a reaction, and you might not like what the reaction might be, but what you do is what creates the reaction at the level that it's going to be. Okay? That you don't like a law doesn't make that law illegal.